In busy New York City, there's a quiet struggle against homelessness using a controversial tactic called hostile architecture. This means designing things deliberately to stop homeless people from finding a place to rest in public areas. Examples include armrests on benches and even putting rocks under bridges or metal coverings on subway vents. The aim is to keep homeless individuals from seeking shelter in these places. But why is the government hell-bent on removing already struggling people from the streets? Let's find out. In our society, where homelessness is a tough issue, some laws are being made to protect the rights of people without a permanent home. Emily Devendorf, who is part of the Democratic Party in Michigan, is pushing for special rights for homeless individuals. However, this effort is facing challenges because many cities and states are taking strict actions against homeless camps and similar problems. It's like there's a clash between those trying to help the homeless and those trying to control where they stay. This bill includes things like letting them move around freely in public spaces, getting jobs without being discriminated against for not having a permanent address, and ensuring they have access to emergency medical care. It also protects their privacy and helps them get the official documents needed for voting, like a photo ID. Other places like Connecticut, Illinois, and Rhode Island, along with New York City, already have similar laws to protect the rights of homeless people. However, there's a concern that even though these laws exist, they might not be enforced properly, making it difficult for homeless individuals to benefit from the rights written on paper. And the examples can be seen in the form of subway seating changes. The subway, crucial for many New Yorkers, faced problems when benches were taken away. This didn't just affect homeless people, but upset others too, like older folks and pregnant commuters who needed a place to sit. The new benches with armrests weren't just uncomfortable, they also didn't follow the rules of the Americans with Disabilities Act, causing more issues. A nearby station had removed seat backs a year earlier, claiming it would reduce loitering. Critics disagreed, saying it only made things uncomfortable without solving the real problem of homelessness. Later, benches with armrests were put back, showing a need for a sneakier way to use unfriendly design without drawing too much attention. The Moyne Trail, a fancy train station with a huge price tag, has a problem. There are no seats. Even though it looks nice and has cool stuff like a billion-dollar train station should, the lack of benches is weird. People mostly wait for trains here, so not having a place to sit makes you wonder why they want everyone to stand. Maybe they did this deliberately to make commuters uncomfortable so they pay to use fancier lounges or nearby places. But this decision affects everyone who comes here, no matter how much money they have, and most people affected by this are none other than homeless people. Public parks are supposed to be nice places for people to relax and enjoy community activities. But some parks are using what's called hostile architecture, which makes them less welcoming. Highline Park, built on an old rail track, has benches that act more like barriers, with strange angles and shapes that seem to discourage people from staying too long. Instead of focusing on making the park functional and comfortable, it seems like some areas prioritize how they look, raising concerns about the true purpose of public spaces. This becomes especially important as cities try to address homelessness. When parks use hostile architecture, it sends a message that they care more about stopping certain behaviors than making the space convenient and comfortable for everyone. One specific example is Zucca Park, a private park with granite surfaces that get freezing. Sitting on these surfaces becomes uncomfortable, and the park's design makes us question whether it's appropriate to prioritize controlling crowds over the well-being of the public. It's essential to think about how we design public spaces to ensure they are welcoming and considerate to everyone. Understanding why there's unfriendly design in New York City involves looking at the bigger picture of homelessness. The city is dealing with many people without homes, and finding kind solutions is a big challenge. In fact, homelessness went up by 12% compared to the year before. About 653,100 people were without a home on a single night. While 60% of them stayed in emergency shelters or transitional housing, the rest were on the streets or in places not meant for people. It's important to know that the rise in homelessness started before COVID-19. In the years from 2006 to 2019, many cities made more rules against activities linked to homelessness. A report from 2021 by the National Homelessness Law Center tells us there was a huge 1,300% increase in homeless encampments. The report also points out that Black and Native American people are more likely to be homeless. Unfriendly design might seem like a quick way to hide the signs of homelessness, but it brings up questions about how we treat the city's most vulnerable people. These designs show a struggle between wanting a neat and tidy public space and dealing with the main problems causing homelessness. Having clean subways is good, but it shouldn't hurt those who already have very little. Taking away benches and adding uncomfortable designs doesn't really fix the big issues causing homelessness. Even the residents of the city are now asking the government for a solution for this matter, since it is essentially putting their lives in danger. People are now putting up loudspeakers to warn new arrivals. The shelters meant for homeless people have a bad reputation, and there are too many people needing help. Because of this, public places like subways and parks become makeshift homes for those who have nowhere else to go. Unfriendly design might seem like it's solving the visible problems, but it doesn't actually give a real answer to the complicated issue of homelessness. If you liked the video so far, make sure to subscribe to the channel. People are starting to notice something called hostile architecture, and they're not happy about it. This means designing public spaces to make it uncomfortable for certain activities, like sleeping on benches. Recently, in subway stations, when people complained about benches being removed, they were put back. This shows that what the public thinks can actually change how our cities look. A big example of this is at Moyne Trail train station, where people got upset because there weren't enough places to sit. This highlights how important it is for city planners to think about what people in the community need and how they feel. Now, groups that speak up for others and regular people are teaming up to ask city leaders to rethink their unfriendly design choices. They want cities to be more caring and make everyone feel welcome. In places like New York City, where things are constantly changing, the argument about unfriendly design raises important questions about what values we want in our city planning. While it's okay to want our public spaces to look nice, it shouldn't make life harder for people, especially those who are struggling the most. It's about finding a balance between a clean, orderly city and making sure everyone who lives there feels okay. As the nation grapples with the complex and multifaceted issue of homelessness, the debate over rights, enforcement, and comprehensive solutions continues. Legislators are attempting to establish a foundation of respect and humanity for homeless individuals, recognizing their basic rights. However, the challenges are numerous, with tensions rising between the rights of the homeless and the concerns of local communities. What do you think about this? Let us know in the comments section below, and make sure to like the video. Thanks for watching.